Hi, my name is Mina Palaniappan. I'm the founder and CEO of Atma Connect. We know all too well that poor people are going to suffer the most the impacts of climate change. Extreme weather events are increasing all over the world. Resource scarcity, price shocks on basic needs. These are all going to hit low income communities in the developing world the hardest, and they have the least resources to adapt to the new environment. We also note the scale of humanitarian crises is just growing globally, and the gap between the resources needed to deal with these crises and the resources that are available is growing. A lot of effort has been placed at the international level, the national level, and the level of local governments around building resilience. But what if we empowered people on the front lines of disaster and resource shocks with information and tools to prepare, recover from, and prevent the next disaster and be more resilient in the face of climate change? Mobile phones make this possible. What we've created is Atma Go, the resilience social network that is connecting people in local communities to share solutions and strategies to prepare for, recover from, and prevent the next disaster. And we are working in the entire resilience ecosystem at the neighborhood level. We launched Atma Go in Indonesia in 2015, and a few short years, we've reached over 275,000 users across 12 cities. Users in Indonesia are sharing a range of information about warning each other during floods to watch out for flooded streets, showing people the location of government flooding shelters, telling each other to watch out for signs of waterborne disease in children. They're sharing prices for water, food, and where to find affordable food and water. They're sharing information on jobs, educational opportunities, and they're also conducting community collective action to improve resilience at the community level and prevent the next disaster. There are two features on Atma Go that are allowing communities to get ahead of the next disaster and the next chronic challenge in their communities. One is a way for communities to directly report to governments what the problems are in their neighborhoods around infrastructure, whether it's silted rivers or things that will exacerbate the next flood. And government agencies are providing a ticket to users and solving those problems as they emerge. Additionally, another way that communities can take collective action is to do resilience building events in their neighborhoods. And so one of the things that we know is that solid waste is a precondition to exacerbate flooding in urban poor neighborhoods. Throughout our cities, we helped users organize events to clean up garbage in their neighborhoods using our events feature. So communities on their own can take action to prevent the next disaster. In these communities, we are building social cohesion, which in numerous academic studies we found increases the ability of a community to bounce back from disaster and chronic challenges. Neighbors are helping neighbors with critical information and solutions on building resilience to disaster. And finally, we are creating early warning systems. In a lot of cases, highly developed early warning systems have been created in tier 1 cities or the capital cities in many of these countries. And so in the case of Jakarta, we are connected to the early warning system in Jakarta. As we move to tier 2 and tier 3 cities, they're very underdeveloped, inefficient early warning systems. So we are in these places creating an early warning system, allowing residents of upstream communities to generate an early warning for downstream communities when flooding is expected. And we're also allowing governments, by filling in a small form similar to what you would do on Twitter or Facebook, the ability to generate an early warning that will go directly to people's handheld devices. We know early warnings are a critical factor in reducing mortality, morbidity, and property damage. And residents all over the world, especially in the poorest and most vulnerable communities need to have access to them in trusted ways. So we are really excited about partnering with IKEA and Autodesk Foundation to take AtmaGo to the next level, to be able to conduct contests on AtmaGo so that people on the ground can share their design solutions to improving their housing, and improving their housing to protect against floods, fires, and other chronic challenges that these communities face and that are only increasing with climate change. We look forward to working with Autodesk and IKEA Foundation to build resilience in the poorest and most vulnerable communities by releasing trapped knowledge and building on the ingenuity and resourcefulness of people in building better places. Thank you.